Not long ago, a viewer sent me a mysterious Minecraft channel called Adam_43. At first glimpse, it seemed like another wannabe creepypasta channels, but what I didn't realize was how deep this iceberg would go. This wasn't just an ordinary Minecraft channel, there was something far more creepy to it. Something wrong. Okay, before we go ahead and investigate the full meaning behind this channel, let's first take a look at the creator's about page. Hello, I am Adam. Until 9 months ago, I was a normal Minecraft player. Maybe I still am? I don't know anymore. I just want to play Minecraft peacefully in my house overlooking the view on the mountainside. And below this text is a Morse code that, when decoded, gives us an email. adam12player12@gmail.com. We don't really need this at the moment, and not sure if we will, but I just wanted to clarify it. Video number 1, unknownvideo.mp4. The description notes the following. Video recording date, I don't know. Upload date, October 14th, 2024. Original description, this video is not mine, I found it on my computer while going through files. Heading into the video, this recording takes place in a village, however we can quickly tell that it's pitch black all around us, almost like our player has a blindness effect. They decided to go into one of the houses, but then this is what we see. A villager with no eyes. But this isn't just a single villager, it's all of them. Each and every house this player goes into, there's a faceless villager. With the video coming to an end, they stumble upon a bedrock wall with no roof that looks to be covering this whole town, like it's keeping them in there from something. The next episode is titled Underground.mp4. Assuming this is Adam recording these videos, he decides to jump in the village as well that we saw in the previous upload. However, when he turns around, there's a small tunnel leading into 2 hallways. Adam decides to choose the right one. There's a sign at the end, but even with trying to brighten up the footage, we can't 100% tell if it has something on it, so let's move on. While heading back to check what the other tunnel has to offer, this white colored entity appears out of nowhere and cutting the video off. Now, we still don't have much information about why this actually happened, but my theory would be that this anomaly captured our player because he was trying to find a way out and was somewhere he wasn't even supposed to be. This next upload opens up with our player questioning where they are. If we add some brightness to the video, we see that it begins with them looking at the bedrock wall that now has a block broken. Adam slowly heads down the staircase, but that is when the well-known Music Disc 11 starts playing, making him terrified. There are hallways once again, he picks the right side, but that same white entity appears, making him turn back as fast as possible. He takes the risk of turning back, now he's in the mineshaft a second time, but it isn't over. The entity appears out of the darkness, jump scaring him. Our player runs and runs, taking a look back, making sure he's safe, but the figure manages to catch him. Now he's at some place he has never been or even seen before. Going up the staircase, we get to experience this unsettling footage. A huge amount of signs displaying "Where are we?" But with no choice left, Adam decides to keep wandering around. Something closes the door right in front of him. Out of curiosity, he takes a look at what that room is about, and this is the next thing he discovers. Our player is shaking, horrified from what he is seeing. He reaches the portal room in the Stronghold, but there is no portal. The last few moments we get to watch is a sign amongst every other saying, "I am here." The following upload on the channel is quite different than the ones we looked at before. Adam is in his own base this time, and once he takes a look outside, we can still tell that there's darkness around his vision. Adam collects the gear and resources from his chest, blocks the entrance and starts traveling. If we boost up the audio of the footage, we can hear this creepy ambience that gets louder as he travels outside of his base. On the way out, we can instantly notice trees with no leaves, and also this weird moment happens where he gets a lag spike and his sword interacts with something. But anyways, not too long after, we see a sign again. A sign that has the same text, "I am here," written on it. The ambience gets incredibly loud and our player falls down in a hole like the earth just ate him up. Adam decided to head forward, following the rest on torches, not long before this occurs. Okay, there are a few key points that need to be discussed before moving on any further. The video is called BehindYou.mp4, while the description says I need help, he understands me, he watches me, I don't feel safe. But who's the one that's watching and stalking our player? We haven't got enough clues to figure this one out at the moment, but hopefully it will be solved later on. Next, the Steve's appearance. We saw that entity, or who knows player, from the previous episode, but we still don't know its full purpose. Both times it just kind of scared our player, nothing else. And last but not least, the beeping at the end. That beeping you heard was a Morse code, which can be easily translated and decoded into text. The result of this is the following: "You made me." Before taking a look at the 5th upload on the channel, let's quickly go over one of the community posts Adam created on the channel. It was posted 6 months ago, assuming around the same date as the previous video, and the decoded Morse code translates to "I need help." This same note was in the Behind You's description. We currently don't fully know about what Adam needs help with, but this is gonna become pretty clear soon. Heading on to the next upload, the title sticks out a bit from the rest. It's called "The Man with Black Eyes." Our player is still in the same 1x2 hole with a sign from the previous recording, assuming this is the aftermath. Not sure if this matters or not, but his enchanted sword and pickaxe have these black kind of spots on it, like it got infected by something. He walks through a door, and this is the next scene we get. Adam is now on a single block, face to face with an entity that has been scaring him this whole time. And for the first time ever, Adam tries to communicate with it.
"Hey, who are you?"
And it speaks back.
Hello, Adam. You're pushing your luck. Leave or stay forever. Why am I asking for your choice, though? I'm the higher authority here. You'll stay here with me forever.
New world. I was teleported into this world, I don't know where I am, but I know one thing. He's with me. Adam's hand or even skin has been fully corrupted. We see two unfamiliar people talking to each other in the chat, but this is gonna make sense in a bit. Our player is in the sky, floating on invisible blocks and observing the area he has never even seen before. A bit later, Adam finally decides to talk in chat, confused of where he is, and the video cuts off. Alright, let's scroll down to the comments and check if there's anything useful. A comment by the same player we saw in the video, Crafted Mysteries. This ARG might have just gotten a whole lot deeper than I would have ever thought so. The first ever upload on their channel is The Arrival of Adam_43.mp4. Both the description and comment displays "Where are we?" The same text that had appeared on the Adam_43 channel when he was stuck in that stronghold with the white figures. The video doesn't offer anything new, it's just the two friends talking when suddenly someone they never heard of, which is Adam, joins the chat as well. They freak out while the music suddenly stops playing and the recording ends. Back to Adam's perspective, Josh and Crafted Mysteries are confused on who Adam is and where he actually came from, but this also applies to Adam as he has zero clue on how he actually got here in the first place. Our player explains the situation about him being teleported here. Josh is saying stuff like he didn't die, assuming that Adam jumped down from the sky and took no fall damage. We can also tell that his enchanted items are now back to normal, unlike the part where those were corrupted. Adam tries to handle the situation, but the other two still don't trust him. And finally, the video wraps up with them agreeing that Adam can go explore. From Crafted Mysteries' point of view, it's really odd seeing a player just floating in the sky like he's in creative, and I can certainly understand why they were so scared of him. A person in both videos' comments, Mid10, pointed out the fact that Adams' footage was recorded on October 27th, while Crafted Mysteries' was on the 29th, a whole 2 days later. So this is either a mistake made by one of them, or Adam truly is a time traveler. Adams' next upload on the channel has a Morse code in the description, which is a bit hard to understand, but the final sentence that comes out is, "We don't have much time, you need to help me." Adam finds the same kind of door which teleported him above the sky with the entity. He enters it. For less than a second we can see the black-eyed Steve, and now our player is in a bedrock box. All seems to be fine until he opens his inventory. His character is upside down? Not only that, but does this underground area look familiar? This was the hole that Adam fell through in the Behind You episode. He builds up, manages to get on top of the surface, and what we can see is that the darkness vision still remains. Him going into F5 also confirms that he is upside down. And as a final scene, he goes back into his old base that fortunately got untouched. But this recording wasn't anything compared to Crafted Mysteries' next one. About 10 seconds in, the player seems to be running from something that has been chasing him. The ambience starts getting louder and louder. He drives down into a cave. Panicking and stressing, he decides to go into an unexplored 2x2 hole with redstone torches. An entity hits him from behind and then disappears. By this point our player is shaking uncontrollably. Signs spell out the word "run", and again it appears. Crafted doesn't take chances, he runs as fast as possible, trying to outpace this entity. It says something in chat, and the video glitching is what we can see before it ends. I think it's time to discuss a really important anomaly before moving on, and that is the ambience itself. Its first ever appearance was in the Behind You recording moments before it, the entity, who we now know is called Shadow Figure, attacked. This was the case here as well. We hear the ambience and we know that the Black-Eyed Steve is on its way to capture or even kill the players. This explains why the description had said, "You cannot escape the shadows." It seems like Adam has somehow managed to bring this entity from his world into this one, where the other two players are. Conclusion: run if you hear it, otherwise it's already too late. First, as usual, let's have a look at the comment by the creator. This long Morse code gives out the following. "You're very curious. Why are you wasting your time watching these videos? Don't worry, Adam's under my control now, and he will stay that way unless someone or you play the hero." The video opens up with Adam's skin being Alex. You might think that is okay, because yes, it's not corrupted anymore, but even before that, his skin was a Steve, not an Alex. A few seconds into the video, an error pops up in chat displaying that a user who goes by the name of Herobrine gained access to Adams' files. It is trying to restart our player's game, but it failed. But then, it deletes the world files and starts transferring not a user, but users to a new world. He gets teleported into what looks like to be just a bedrock floor, but that is when he decides to turn around and...
He knows too much. He needs to come with us.
Our player is trying to sneak his way out of this, but when things couldn't get any worse, they just do. Dead end, a sign writes escape, and then no escape. He starts running back, but it is too late, because they caught him. From this video, it seems like the entities realized that they tried to capture Crafted so many times that by this point, he knows too much and they can't let him live. Memories, a binary code in the description translating to wake up, you can't sleep forever, you're my puppet. Whoever is recording this footage starts walking on bedrock after exiting where these white entities are, and suddenly they get flashbacks about the black-eyed Steve watching them, anything they do, or even anywhere they go. It's like there's no escape from it. I might have gotten a theory that resembles these puppets. These white figures that are in a certain pose and doing nothing might be the puppets of this entity, the Black-Eyed Steve. Maybe it is trying to tell us that every one of them is a puppet of his. Crafted Mysteries' 5th ever upload on the channel is titled Simulation, and a bit corrupted Morse code that gives us Who Will Save Me. Crafted's skin is Alex now, just like Adams's. But besides that, everything seems normal at first glance, but then a minute in, this is what we see. Our players' game is lagging quite a lot, and the world has been corrupted with bedrock blocks, and if we look a bit closer, we can see the numbers 100. What exactly could it be representing though? Crafted seems to be minding his own business, when suddenly this half black and white entity appears in front of him. He tries to run as an attack, but it vanishes down the ravine. It spawns again. Crafted is furious by this point and is trying to take them down to maybe, just maybe, escape this simulation he's in, but unfortunately he fails yet again, and that is how the video finishes off. Now, the footage you just saw isn't in the same world where Crafted and Adam met, and the reason I'm most certain of that is because in the previous Crafted_Mysteries upload, our player was captured by these entities and most likely brought into this whole other world where there are corruptions. Going back to Adam, the recording date is December 6th, 2024. The recording starts with our player talking about using something since it killed him and took all of his stuff. Maybe Adam tried to do a mission against the entities that involves killing them, but failed, and now he's here. He digs into the side of a mountain, and in front of him is what looks like to be a machine of some sort. He flicks the lever. For a few frames, this Steve, not with black eyes, but with red eyes, appears. And now, wait. Adam was that same figure we saw from the previous episode on Crafted's channel? We see that the machine exploded, and the next thing our player tries is going into creative mode by using commands. And it works. He then says,
I can help him now.
And in the next cut, we see him standing in the place just like previously. He then keeps talking about helping and protecting the player, Crafted Mysteries. Waking up is the next video on the Crafted Mysteries channel. Even a few seconds in, we see these red and even black blocks we've never seen before. Not only that, but the bedrock has spread a bit more since the last upload. Turns out that red colored blocks were just netherite bricks, but still, why those specifically? The recording's quality isn't the greatest, but Crafted also noticed command blocks on the trees. Okay, this has to have been caused by Adam himself. We clearly saw that he gained access to creative mode in the last episode. He's actually here to save our player. And speaking of Adam, he came back once again, and this time actually wrote something in chat, letting Crafted know he's here. Adam helps our player by telling him to go inside the forest. Adam also explains what he saw, not too long before a glitched cut happens and everything goes back to normal like nothing ever happened. As a final goodbye, Adam says,
He is here. I am leaving.
Crafted is left alone again, and the video ends by him closing the door. The next upload is on Adam's channel, and in case you're wondering who TakenHey actually is, the description explains it quite clearly. My friend is trying the NPC mod. This recording isn't really that important. All that happens is that while TakenHey was experimenting around with the NPCs, one started escaping out of nowhere, and a text said wake up for a small duration before the video ended. Wait, escape? Isn't that what the next recording is titled on Crafted's channel? Was that Steve dummy TakenHey was experimenting with Crafted himself? Well, there's only one way to find out. It is time to make the grand escape out of this simulation. Our player looks back one last time at all the corrupted part of this world, before watching chunks disappear and Adam baiting our player to look down while knocking him into the void for his own good. Glitch, as the next upload's title displays. The recording is on Adam's channel, yet his username is the same as the video's title, Glitch. He explains how he will take revenge on Herobrine, and the reason being him destroying the timeline. Adam, or Glitch by this point, is as confident as he could ever be. Nothing is able to hurt him, yet alone get in his way. He shows all the destruction he has caused just because of that one entity, and now he's ready to serve justice. However, we won't be looking at the revenge just yet, because there's a really important video to look at first that is on the other channel, the Gravekeeper, with a glitched Morse code that I found hard to decode, but it's something along the lines of remains silence. The recording starts off with our player questioning where they are. Keep in mind, this also happened after Adam knocked him into the void for his own good. He then stumbles upon a village, but this is where the story takes a dark turn. What happened? Are you scared? My face has been pitch black for a long time, says villager Dave. He goes into one of the houses and the villager has his face covered in black. Those things aren't a virus. That thing is a person, I think, or maybe a spiritual being. There is a graveyard, something made by the Gravekeeper. All the souls of the people he killed are here. You are the one who will stop him, and I can finally delete this cursed game. Take this sword and armor, now get out of here. Dave then disappears into thin air without even getting a chance to say goodbye. With no time to waste, Crafter checks out the signs at the well, which say, "Did you sleep well?" Smiley face, followed up by, "You've damaged reality." We can then see the graveyard that's made out of mossy cobblestone, but then we see it again. Standing on the left side of the screen, watching our player, and after that glitch, the video cuts off to black. Alright, the reason I think this is one of the most important videos so far is because of the few key points listed. 1. We saw the villager talk about seeing nothing but pitch black, and this also applied in the first few videos on Adam's channel. And 2. The main one, the signs that say, "Where are we?" It all makes perfect sense now. This town, it really did look familiar. This was the village Adam was trapped in, the village he tried escaping out from, and the darkness vision Dave talked about. He had the same symptom as well. Our player seems to have the items he had from the previous upload, except, watch, he has darkness. It's the same event that Adam was experiencing in his first few videos. But let's continue with the footage. Crafted seems to be heading into the graveyard made out of mossy cobblestone that we saw in the previous episode. He spots some signs on top of the entrance which say, "Cursed Hollow Graveyard." He clears the graveyard with no luck and then proceeds to jump in the well. We can't see much because of the darkness around him, but he finds many skeleton heads on some wall that are most likely under the graveyard, and those probably being the players' skulls from the past when the entities killed them. Besides this eerie ending, the video comes to a close. The God Ends Here upload is once again on Crafted Mysteries' channel before taking a turn back to Adam's. First things first, let's translate this Morse code real quick. It has some corrupted parts, but if I'm not mistaken, it's saying, "Here is my end, behind this bridge." I didn't clarify this yet, but this video's thumbnail is what Crafted Mysteries is currently using as their profile picture. And if we have a look at which song was used in this video, it's the one called As Close to Hell. It's not all that important, but it just feels off how the next video on the channel we will be covering is titled the exact same. Anyways, the video starts off with our player traveling through a 1x2 hole. When they suddenly come across some redstone dust, Crafted keeps on following the path not long before he finds a 2x2 dugout tunnel. After a cut happens, we can see him exiting the underground cave, and that is when we get to see a new face, the priest. "You should not have come here, traveler," he says. Crafted then responds with, "I need to go." The priest then keeps warning him about this decision and saying, "Because here, even God is silent." And shortly after, we get this. I think it's time to go over what happened near the ending of this video. I'm sure the obsidian cross doesn't serve that big of a purpose besides the symbol of Christianity. But in the next clip, where the priest says God ends here in chat, his chat this time isn't the color white as it normally should be, but instead it's colored in black. Remember the last time we saw that color appear in the Minecraft chat? It was the Black-Eyed Steve username's color. Did that same entity possess and take over the priest's body? Potentially. Back to Adam's channel, this video is titled Prison, and this time it isn't a Morse code in the description, but rather a Caesar cipher. Shifting each letter back 3 times gives us the following results. They are here. I don't have much time left. I need to do it or I will die. Without taking a look at the recording, we can't say what the creator is trying to say with that description, so let's jump right in. If you don't remember by now, in Adam's previous video, he was in full control of getting revenge, whereas now he looks like to be where? First of all, we can see a total of 3 bodies laying on the floor, assuming they've been killed. Adam seems to be walking on these odd looking green and black colored blocks. Nothing out of the ordinary happens in this video, besides him talking about them attacking the base, how he failed to protect these people, and how his own safe base became a prison itself. A text appears on screen displaying "Run faster," and the video ends. Adam's next video is a bit interesting. First of all, the recording date is saying January 8th, while the previous episode had January 26th. The footage you're about to see was recorded before the prison one, where Adam was close to surrendering. And 2, the Morse code this time is the most corrupted one so far, but the most valid answer I had was his plan is succeeding, I'm close to stopping him. The footage opens up and immediately we see that the one who recorded this video was TakenHey. The first time we saw them on the channel was in the video called Footage, where a dummy he was experimenting with escaped. Going back to the video, Taken says how he can't feel his body while questioning his existence at the same time. A flipped horizontally and vertically text appears on the screen saying, I learned it. I learned how to use my powers. The video cuts not to Adam, but Glitch. He says, you will know it. You always do. And the video cuts off. As Close to Hell is Crafted's next video with a Morse code description writing, help me. Our player seems to be standing on a single obsidian block, and that same ambience is back, aka the entity as well. This scenario is familiar though, because the first time Adam was face to face with the entity, he was also on a single block, except it was glass then, not obsidian. And these are the only times the figure decides to talk, when there's only the 2 of them, so here is what it has to say. Your courage brought you here, but remember, every brave heart was once fearful. You're hastening your own end. My games, they pull you in, don't they? But in this game, only one can win, and that winner will be me. You can't escape, not from me, not from the darkness that I bring. I am your inevitable end, and thus you fall into an eternal sleep. Goodbye. The next upload is once again on Crafted Mysteries' channel, and it is called Not a Heaven Man. We can see that our player is back in the village with blindness again. He then goes into the graveyard to try and find some answers, and that is when the so-called unknown spirit appears. At first, its text was a dark grey color, but when Crafted asked about Glitch's world, it this time responded in red, as if he got mad for bringing up that topic. A few seconds later, the figure abandons Crafted, and that is when he finds a grave that has a sign on it saying, Rest in peace, Crafted Mysteries. He digs it out, and under is a machine and a sign as a warning, Are you sure? The following upload on the channel sticks a bit out from the rest. It is called V Omega Team equals test 1.0.0. Next, if you look at the date it was recorded on, it notes 00/00/0000. We've never seen this before, but also it won't be the last time we do. And this time the description has a hex string code, which is a bit complicated to explain, so I'll just say the answer. Everything is just beginning. Last but not least, Adam pinned his comment, that is the reply from Mojang support itself, assuming he sent a report to them about all these anomalies. Heading into the recording, the game's version is now Minecraft Alpha v Omega Team equals test 1.0.0, and almost all the GUIs are the logo of Mojang, assuming this comment is correct by saying that the ones who recorded this footage are the Mojang Studios research teams. The player heads into the desert temple, where inside it looks like an ordinary lobby. They step on the pressure plate and get teleported to this area. There are 4 rooms in total, each having a sign that say Team-7777, Team-77, Team 7, and the one they go into is called Operator's Room 7. It looks like to be a room with a bed, some random blocks, lamps, and levers inside. He flicks the 2 middle ones and said, "Why did you call me here, sir?" A corrupted name responds with, "I don't understand how he came back. Minecraft was supposed to be perfect. It is perfect. But that's not a problem right now. Go and destroy him." "Yes, sir." Our player then flicks back the levers to, I guess, leave the communication, and the rest of the video is a Morse code audio beeping, which when converted we get, "I'll save you from him. I promise." The title this time is Team7777.mp4, and in the description is a binary code which when translated gives us, "You can't kill God." Adams once again pinned the email he got sent back from the support team, and if we read some of the parts of, we can see that this is Adams' last warning for the amount of reports he sent of the same issue. One reply to the pinned comment. And what do you know? It is a channel that's called Mojang_Omega Team. We won't be checking the channel out just yet, but we will pretty soon. The username our player has is now 7Mojang7 Omega 7 Team, 7 members 7777. Okay, this is a member of the Team-7777 which we saw appear on a sign in the previous episode, but is there more to this? We can see that the area around us has 2 pretty important blocks we saw before, those being pumpkin blocks and nether bricks. We saw both blocks appear in Crafted Mysteries videos when he was trapped in the world Adam tried to destroy and save our player, which was called Glitch's World. But anyways, the 7777 member places a lever on the tree, and this is what we hear next.
"You can't stop me. I am God."
Shortly after, if we pause the footage, we see the black-eyed Steve just standing and watching us in the top left corner before fully corrupting the recording.
You can't kill God.
I feel like it is finally time to address what this Mojang_Omega Team YouTube channel is about. First of all, I saw that they had their email linked in their about page, so out of curiosity, I went ahead and sent them a message myself, acting like I wanted to apply for the job. Then there is their one and only community post, and here the only part that stands out is of course the binary code that gets decoded to "Don't trust Omega." Their first ever upload is titled "Recruitment for New Team Members Started." Exactly between 6 to 11 seconds, we see this binary code in the bottom left corner, which gives us once again a warning: don't trust them. Whoever is trying to let us know that we shouldn't trust this team, we most likely should trust them. Speaking of warnings, the second video on the channel is called Warning. If you're wondering what the description is trying to tell us, let me just show you what the video truly is about. The binary text you saw for a second says, "Herobrine will rise again." But why are they keeping that one entity so important this whole time? Well, take a look at the next upload they did. First things first, the most obvious thing to solve is the title of the video. This is a hexadecimal string code again, translating to "leaked tape." Immediately, we see that the intro got taken over by Herobrine, and then an uneasy, whispering voice speaks.
"There are many forces in this world. Some create, some destroy. And then there are both who keep balance."
The last thing they mentioned was the fact that Crafted Mysteries was the one who saw this Gravekeeper entity the last time, which is true because he uploaded a footage about that which we already covered. Going back to the Adam_43 channel, this time it is him playing and not an Omega team member. He hopes CM, which is shortened for Crafted Mysteries, didn't come here because the Gravekeeper already did, but still he has to find him. Observing the area around Adam, we can tell how much he has destroyed this world from trying to stop the entities. Bedrock and obsidian ground, command blocks and pumpkins act as trees. It's so foggy overall, and the Minecraft music is playing backwards while the recording just randomly cuts off. Based by the title of the video, you can already tell what this is going to be. It's the start of a YouTube video's URL link, and the other part of it is in the video above, who I'm guessing is the Gravekeeper himself. Entering the link sends us to this unlisted recording titled TU1. The TU1 is a tutorial road for the Xbox 360 edition Minecraft. Starting the recording, the first really unsettling anomaly we see is that the text doesn't display Minecraft, but rather Herobrine. He checks out this custom-made village where the doors are half glitched. As an ending to this recording, he finds the shrine of Herobrine, puts out the fire, and then the entity jumps him. Before we take a look at the last video on Adam's channel, let's see the second to last upload on Crafted Mysteries' Gravekeeper's Curse. The footage seems to be lagging quite a lot, and it also has an old film's kind of color. If we take a look at the scene, we can see a few dead players, an upside down cross made out of netherrack, some fire, a clock, and 2 signs. By this point, the video is glitched quite unusually as our player looks at the site. And this is when we realize they messed up. These bodies are the ones from the Mojang team who were trying to take down this whole madness, but they failed. Crafted arrived too late and wasn't there to help them. And as we could have guessed, all of this was done by none other than Gravekeeper. Crafted, horrified from what he just saw, decides to follow a redstone dust, or as already mentioned, blood trail, curious to where it leads. That is when he finds it. The Gravekeeper. With the Crafted Mysteries channel coming to an end, I think this should also apply for the Mojang_Omega team as well. Both the description and the few frames at the beginning of the video have the same binary code text which say, "We need you Crafted Mysteries." However, as we saw previously, it was unfortunately too late. Our player, who is the Mojang Omega team operator, seems to be rushing into the desert temple, which I'm guessing is their operations center, except it was blown up already. Out of pure anger, he takes out the enchanted golden sword that's called Sword of the Notch and slays the black-eyed entity. Or does he? He gives it another attempt, but this time he gets turned into survival mode with no items and is now levitating slightly above the void. With no possible escape, he ends the video for once and for all. The time of recording this video, Adam_43's latest video is titled a single word: no. There's no recording date nor upload date. First of all, this is a recorded footage of a conversation between the Black-Eyed Steve and Herobrine, who talks in binary codes only. I will now read all the dialogues, but with the decoded responses. Brian, what's the next step to the plan? Kill Adam. Why do you want me to kill Adam? It's more useful to him? Since when do you question my orders? Sorry. Good. Now go. Sometimes I think 303 was right about you. We now understand that Herobrine is probably the main leader of every entity and is now giving the order to kill Adam. Sometimes I think 303 was right about you is probably referring to Entity 303 and other creepypasta similar to Herobrine. This is pretty much all we got, and now it is the waiting time to see what the fate of Adam is going to be. The last upload on the Crafted_Mysteries channel is called Plan and is 50 seconds long. The first and most obvious anomaly we see is our player's hand. I'm not sure if this is Adam, Crafted, or neither of them, but what I do know is that this area looks about the same as the previous video Adam uploaded. The chat I'm about to read is between Herobrine and 303, aka Entity 303. You're calling me again? Why? Crafted Mysteries. Go. I'm not your servant, Herobrine. Then go, or I'll send someone else. Fine, but this is the last time. We will see. One thing we learned and can confirm from this chat alone is that the person recording is Crafted Mysteries, while the main topic of this conversation was Herobrine commanding Entity 303 to put Crafted away for one last time.